Hey, Mike with Rocky Mountain Westy and Van Cafe. We're going to start today by installing a Twin Peaks front bumper. And the Twin Peaks front bumper is been designed to be a structural part. We'll call it a structural part of your van. So this bracket here goes around your van front bumper. Now this front bumper is a structural component to the unibody of your van. And if you notice, on the top of the bumper here, there's tripod holes. So these holes are pre-marked for you. So what we do is we slide our component over, and it actually lines up with the top of those three pyramids. And then we're going to clamp it in place here. We're going to clamp it in place here. And what that does is that enables us to get it back towards the van. And you can use C-clamps, you can use your vice grips, kind of whatever works best or whatever you have in your toolbox. But I've already lined them up on top, so I'm going to clamp this here. Actually, that needs a little shifty shift, so we're going to do a little shift on it. Nope. Okay, so I have my holes lined up nice. I'm going to clamp this in place. And we've sold lots of these Twin Peak bumpers over the years. And we've made a little bit of modification to them, but not a lot. One of the modifications was these little clamping areas, which make it easier to hold in place and when you're marking and drilling your holes. All right, so I'm going to get a drill bit, and I'm going to make sure my drill bit drops through my hole, which it does. I want to oversize that hole just a little bit. All of our instructions come with detailed pictures and tool requirements that you need to install these components. Generally, we have good feedback. You know, we kind of say that these components are designed to be installed in your garage with moderate skill level and moderate amount of tools. So I'm not using any really fancy tools. So I'm going to drill a few holes, and then when you come to this one, you come underneath here and you drill straight up. This one's a little trickier because of the angle of the unibody support. I do have a spring-loaded punch here, and you can, I wouldn't call these very technical tools, but this just has a little center punch on it. And if you make a little mark in the middle, that'll help guide your drill bit. So we're gonna drill a little hole there. Okay, so we have 4 of those holes to drill. So we're gonna go through and drill those holes for both sides. And then we're going to show you how to mount the outer skin of the Twin Peaks bumper itself. I've already put some of these components on here. And again, the instructions go through and identify all the components that are supposed to be in the kit, how to put them on, and so we're going to go from there. I have the 4 holes drilled, 2 for each bumper mount. These are going to be the main structural support mounts that hold the bumper in place, and you just drop bolts down through there, just like that. Sometimes it's easier than others. I should probably have a little hammer on hand. Sometimes these bolts don't quite drop through, so you want to give them a little. This one's a little crooked. Just gotta kind of make sure they drop in there nice and straight. Don't use your hands. It's terrible for your hands. Use the right tools, right? Sometimes the easiest way to get those bolts to drop down through there is to gently use either your ratchet or your impact gun, and it'll bring it down in there, just like that. Okay, so then we Put our washers and our nuts on there. And this is essentially the foundation for your Twin Peaks bumper. And the nice part again is the holes we chose to align the bumper are from the factory. So you can't, it's difficult, if not impossible, to misalign the bumper. So now that you have these 4 bolts in place, you can put the rest of the bumper on. We're not going to do an unboxing video here. I've actually spent a little time to get the bumper components in place, or the front bumper sheeting already built. So let's get our clamps taken off. We do provide a torque spec for the bumper mounts in our instructions. I'm not going to torque these. I'm just going to put them on right now, a little bit tight, because I'm going to come back and remove these later. So we're just going to get them tight enough to snug up. And essentially that is those 2 brackets. They're made out of 1/8 inch thick 10 gauge metal. If you look here, you can kind of see the way we assemble these is we actually tab and slot them, meaning that this flat piece goes into that little hole right there, and we're able to align all this in a jig to weld it in place so it fits over your van. And Volkswagen did a good job of making this front bumper very uniform. So I've assembled this bumper in one piece, and then what I'm going to do, and you can put this on in pieces or you can put it on as one assembly. I'm going to slide it over there. And it's going to come up and line up to my bolts. And then I'm going to start, you know, it stays on there. It's pretty stable, really. Better if I start at the top here. I'm just going to gently start those. And then I'll go through and put all 4 on both sides. And then we will snug them up. Okay, again, so I started these by hand. I'm just going to come through with my ratchet and make sure that I'm not cross-threaded. With those metal clips behind there, and the way these are on an angle and stuff, you just kind of want to be a little bit cautious, because if you do strip them, it's kind of a pain. So those 3 feel good. And then we'll go and, before we get them too tight, we'll go and catch our other side too. Okay. All right. So we'll put these 4 bolts in, and really, you know, putting a Twin Peaks front bumper on, I would say start to finish is probably maybe a 2-hour endeavor. I assembled some of this on the bench prior to the video just to be a little bit caught up, because, you know, most people can only take so much of me. So I appreciate you guys sticking around for this, you know, but we're real proud of these bumpers. We get a lot of positive feedback on them. They are, this is 14 gauge steel, and then the bumpers themselves are made out of 10 gauge steel. Excuse me, the mounts themselves are made out of 10 gauge steel. We give plastic washers, so there's a plastic washer here, there's a metal washer here. The plastic washer goes against your powder coated bumper. And again, we also provide torque specs in our instructions for this. The torque spec here is important because you don't want to blow out the plastic washer. We also sell a D-ring that goes over this that gives you a toe point, and You can see those in some of our other videos, and on the product page for the Twin Peaks bumper, it gives you a towing attachment point for both left and right side. There are side mounts on here that our instructions go into detail on how to mount the side mount, and then there's just two little 10mm bumpers, and that holds the bumper from sagging. So some of the nice parts, features that we talk about on these bumpers is this provides a place for you to stand. Sometimes when you're short, maybe like me, 5 foot something, it's hard to wash the windshield, right? So this gives you a nice flat surface to get up and wash your windshield. If you want to put stuff up in your luggage rack, and some of the attention to detail on these all start as flat steel, right? And then we have a press brake, which we have other videos of how stuff is manufactured, but this is bent here, this is welded, that's welded, this is bent. So we basically take this flat piece of steel and we form it into this component, and then we weld some edges on it. And then we grind them and smooth them, and we powder coat it with what we call this wrinkle finish, which is pretty durable for what it is. Powder coating does require maintenance and attention to detail. We do sell powder coating touch-up pens, so you can buy one of those to keep an eye on corners and edges. And you know, if you get a chip on an edge of powder coating, moisture will go underneath there and lift the powder coating. So you just want to be conscious of that. But this is basically our basic front bumper, Twin Peaks front bumper on our Rocky Mountain Westy product line. So we also sell a matching rear bumper that you can see in one of our other videos. And yeah, if you're interested in this, you can come to our website, and we keep these in stock, and you can see them on vancafe.com.